These days, many guys are afraid to get into a relationship with a woman because they see the high divorce rates out there. They see the high levels of cheating and they see the potential for getting hurt. Yet, no matter how much a guy tries to avoid having a relationship with a woman, it will always be what he needs to have a balanced, happy life. He could have a successful career, a nice car, and friends, but if he doesn't have a loving, supportive relationship with a woman, his life is always going to feel a bit empty. People may start to ask him, "Why don't you have a girlfriend?" and assume that there's something wrong with him or that he maybe doesn't even like women at all. Despite his fear of relationships, he still feels sexual desire for women, but since he doesn't have one of his own, he ends up looking at porn every week and blowing into a tissue, so to speak. He hides from his fear of relationships and hopes that somehow he'll be able to get through life being single. Yet, it's depressing. His friends are enjoying loving relationships, settling down and making progress to new levels in life while he's looking on from the sidelines. What I've found is that the main reason why guys fear having relationships with women is that they don't believe that they can keep a relationship together for life. What I want you to know is that you can be one of those couples that you've seen who are happy and madly in love 10, 20, 30, 40, even 50 years into their relationship. That is possible and it's easy. If you try to avoid relationships with women and you try to keep that buried, it'll just make you sick from the inside out, right? You become bitter and angry and frustrated and you don't really enjoy the world the way that other people do. Of course, you will experience some joy in life, but it will be limited. A famous quote by Mark Twain, the American author, is, "To get the full value of joy, you must have someone to divide it with." So for example, if you're watching TV alone and you see something funny, you might laugh to yourself, and that's it. The joke is past, the funny moment is past. You might smile a bit and feel a bit happy and then it just goes away. However, if you're joking around with some friends and someone says something funny and everyone begins to laugh, it multiplies. Suddenly people are crouching over laughing and they're laughing so much that they can't even breathe and some of them have got tears coming out of their eyes because they're laughing so much. That is joy multiplied because other people are involved. When it comes to having a relationship with a woman, the joy that you get when you're in a happy, loving relationship cannot be obtained in any other area of life. You can obtain joy in other things, but the joy that you get from a loving, happy, passionate relationship with a woman is something that you can only have with her. Another example of this is from the old movie called Into the Wild, starring Emile Hirsch. He plays a character called Christopher, and basically Christopher thinks that being part of a society is a scam, and that he'd rather be by himself to explore life and be with his own thoughts. He hates how people treat each other so badly in society and just wants to be on his own and feel good by himself. As the movie unfolds, you begin to see that he is alone and lonely. Near the end of the movie, I won't spoil it for you by saying what happens, but he has a massive realization and writes down the following words: "Happiness, only real when shared." Which is pretty much what Mark Twain was talking about when he said, "To get the full value of joy, you must have someone to divide it with." So, saying something like, "Happiness is only real when shared," is essentially the same knowledge. Happiness is better and is more real and is more valuable when it's shared with other people. Now, there's nothing wrong with someone who wants to spend some time alone and think about things and maybe philosophize and think about how they want their life to play out and what their goals are and so forth. However, at the end of the day, hiding from people and hiding from women isn't going to make your life amazing. You're not ever going to be able to fill the emptiness inside of you with distractions, right? That yearning you have for love and companionship and sex and affection and closeness with a woman isn't going to go away, right? What I want you to know is that relationships aren't a scary thing if you know what you're doing. If a guy doesn't know what he's doing and he doesn't know how to maintain a woman's respect, attraction, and love over time, and he ends up destroying it, then relationships are a bad thing for him, right? It's going to be a horrible experience for him. And if he doesn't fix the problem, it's just going to keep happening again and again and again. He may find a girl who is really nice to him at the start and gives him lots of chances, but eventually when the spark dies out and she's had enough of it, she's just going to dump him or cheat on him and then dump him like every other girl has. Some guys who find themselves in that situation end up thinking, well, I need to accept a really unattractive woman and just put up with it. No, you don't have to do that. You can have your beautiful woman. You can have your amazing relationship. You can keep a relationship together for life. It's actually easy. Just think about those couples that you see that 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years into a relationship, they're still madly in love. They still hold hands. They're still affectionate. That is how it's supposed to be. So if you want to learn the easy way to keep the love and spark alive in a relationship for life, I recommend that you watch my program, Make Her Love You for Life. Make Her Love You for Life is also available on audio. Both the programs are exactly the same, except one is video and one is audio. When you watch or listen to the program, you will learn exactly what to say and do to deepen a woman's love, respect, and attraction for you over time. You'll learn how to make sure that she appreciates you and she supports you, and you and her communicate well with each other and make progress together as a couple over time. You'll learn how to make sure that no matter what you and her face together, it only makes you stronger and makes you love each other more and more. So don't be afraid of relationships. Relationships are scary if you don't know what you're doing. Right? If you don't know how to deepen a woman's respect, attraction, and love for you over time, then yeah, it's scary because you're going to love her, you're going to want to be with her, and then she's going to cheat on you or dump you one day. That's not fun. That's not a good time. Yet, when you know what you're doing and you're able to deepen a woman's respect, attraction, and love for you over time, it's the best thing in the world. I know that from personal experience. I lived the bachelor lifestyle for a long time and had sex with lots of women and really enjoyed my time being the single guy who had many women in his life at once. And I also had some relationships with women along the way, but I was never ready to settle down. Then I met my wife. My wife and I met back when she was 20 and I was 35. I'll be turning 40 this year, and our relationship literally gets better and better every year that we're together. So don't sit on the sidelines thinking that you're never going to be able to keep a woman in love with you for life. You're never going to be able to keep a relationship together. You can do it. It's actually very easy.